dependency.
Social Security was the hot topic at tonight's GOP debate after Rick Perry came under fire for recent comments. Hear what the presidential hopefuls had to say to Tea Party voters.
And a startling number of premature babies are born addicted to drugs. Tonight, the numbers in Knoxville and new strategy to help them recover.
10 News is brought to you in high definition exclusively by Harper Auto Square. You are watching WBIR-TV Channel 10 Knoxville. The news starts now.
With this going on, we might even look into a alarm system.
Neighbors are on alert and thieves remain on the run after stealing dozens of air conditioners. Tonight, police offer simple steps to protect your property. Good evening, I'm John Becker.
And I'm Robin Wilhoit. Thanks so much for watching. There have been dozens of air conditioning thefts in recent weeks here in the Knoxville area. Police say they've had at least 40 reports of stolen AC units here in the city. Most happened in North and Northwest Knoxville.
The Knox County Sheriff's Department says 33 thefts were reported over the last several weeks, mostly in the northern part of the county. But there have also been scattered reports of AC thefts in other sections of our community.
10 News reporter Mary Scott is in our information center with more on the scope of this problem and some options for home and business owners. Mary?
John and Robin, if you own an air conditioning unit, police say you're at risk of losing thousands of dollars. But they say the eyes and ears of the community are the best way to stop these thefts from happening. With copper prices up, air conditioning units are once again a hot item for thieves.
Since July 1st, we've had approximately 40 heating and air units that have been stolen from mostly residences and some businesses.
Police say criminals are hitting North Knoxville hardest. Tracy Radford saw a thief robbing his neighbor, but didn't know what was happening.
I knew the van did not belong here. However, if the house is for sale, they could have had some work done.
Police say houses for rent or sale are the primary target, like this one sitting vacant on Montina Avenue. The primary reason, copper.
Inside all the tubing is copper.
Joe Chavez has been in the air conditioning business for nearly 40 years.
Have a unit like that with copper at the prices today, you probably can get yourself $25, $30. Well, it's not a lot compared to what it's going to cost you to replace that machine.
The machines cost upwards of $2,000. Chavez says you can protect your unit.
There are devices out there that you can attach to your equipment in case they're disconnected. It'll set it off an alarm, but I'm sure they're quite expensive. There's cages you can put around them, anchor them down to the concrete, but if they want it, they're going to get it.
Police say it's imperative for everyone to keep an eye out for suspicious vehicles.
Talk to the neighbors, make sure the neighbors are aware of the problem, have them call 911 if they see any type of activity over at the house.
They also say to be aware of your unit.
If your heating and air unit is hidden by shrubs and things like that, that makes for an easy place for someone to hide behind while they steal the unit, you may want to think about cutting some of that shrubbery down.
It's a lesson Radford had to learn the hard way.
Any strange vehicles, I'll call the police.
He plans to look into an alarm system for his home. Police say while they believe copper is the primary reason the units are being stolen, they also believe thieves could be reusing the units as air conditioners and taking the freon out of them to use to make meth. John and Robin?
All right. Good information to pass along, Mary. Thank you.
We now know the name of the man who was killed in a shooting over the weekend. Greenville police say 22-year-old David Martinez died from a gunshot wound to the head. It happened around 2:15 Sunday morning at a home on West McKee Street. Police say a woman and a child were also inside the home. At last check, authorities haven't made any arrests. Police say the shooting is under investigation.
East Tennessee Children's Hospital is treating a growing number of premature babies born with a drug dependency. As of this morning, ETCH has 23 babies with NAS or neonatal abstinence syndrome. That's currently about 40% of all the preemies in its neonatal intensive care unit. The hospital started a new program back in November that has more doctors involved in treating the infants. They also now use morphine instead of the traditional methadone, which speeds recovery time.
Take those numbers, it really does show that the numbers we're seeing are in line with the substance abuse problem in our country.
Doctors at ETCH have helped 101 premature babies born with these physical withdrawals since November. Nearly every drug-involved case is sent to the Tennessee Department of Child Services.
Union County Commissioners failed to vote tonight on a plan to save some basic school services by moving around money in the county budget. And the school board dropped a motion that would have made major cuts. Right now, the school system is $771,000 in the red and hasn't seen a funding increase in the last 2 decades. Tonight, the director of schools asked the commission to shift some property tax revenue to the district. The board said earlier today, without that money, it would have to cut morning bus services, coaching supplements, and 12 teaching positions. But the school board says it's tabling those cuts until it can meet with the commission next week.
Number one, there's some other concerns. The school is saying some things about their budget that we're not aware of or not fully understanding, and at the same time, we don't want to be seen as not being reasonable and willing to work with them.
Well, I hope we can find a way of getting around to doing anything. But $771,000, a lot of money to come up with.
The school board and Union County Commissioners will meet next Monday at 7 o'clock at Union County High School in hopes of cutting a deal.
A company helping to find cures for serious diseases is celebrating a big move into a new office space. GE Healthcare is now working inside the Miller Building in downtown Knoxville. Its offices were previously in Powell. Several people spoke at today's ribbon cutting. They're from organizations the company supports. They include Alzheimer's Tennessee, UT Medical Center, and the UT Athletic Department.
Well, we really do a lot of work here around in the operating room to try to make it safer for patients. And at the higher level at the GE Healthcare, we're really investing a lot in neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and have a coalition working on trying to find cures for these diseases.
During the ribbon cutting, GE gave away 100 We Back Pat t-shirts and had drawings for free tickets to several UT sporting events. The company says it's excited to be downtown and a part of the Knoxville community.
The turnout for early voting in Knoxville's city primary is off to a slow start. According to the Knox County Election Commission, in the first 4 days of early voting, only 2,733 people voted. That number includes absentee ballots. There are several open seats on the ballot, including Knoxville Mayor and State Senate District 6. Early voting continues through September 22nd. Primary election day is September 27th, and for more information about where and when to vote, you can check our website as well as see a sample ballot.
Still ahead on the night, the GOP presidential hopeful squared off in a debate aimed at Tea Party voters tonight. Hear from the candidates in the Republican Roundup. That's next.
And it's not just moms who experience hormone changes during pregnancy. Ahead, the shift in a man's body when he becomes a dad.
And more warm weather is ahead over the next several days, but we could have another cool down coming our way soon. Your forecast.
The new 2012 Volkswagen Passat is made in Tennessee, and you can get
in Parkside Drive.
Well, tonight, the Republican presidential candidates squared off in a debate in Tampa, Florida. The forum, which aired on CNN, was co-sponsored by the Tea Party Express.
As Dan Shinneman reports, current frontrunner Governor Rick Perry of Texas fended off attacks from his GOP rivals trying to stop his momentum.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in their second debate in less than a week, the Republican presidential candidates spared no punches, going after each other on who has the best record of job creation, while zeroing in on current frontrunner, Texas Governor Rick Perry.
Under Ann Richards, job growth was 2.5% a year. Under George Bush was 3% a year. Under Rick Perry, it's been 1% a year.
The fact is, the state of Texas has led the nation.
On the issue of Social Security.
Does Governor Perry continue to believe that Social Security should not be a federal program, that it's unconstitutional, and it should be returned to the states, or is he going to retreat from that view?
Governor Perry defended past comments where he called Social Security a Ponzi scheme and made no apologies.
Rather than trying to scare seniors like you're doing and other people, it's time to have a legitimate conversation in this country.
The term Ponzi scheme is what scared seniors.
But it was on Governor Perry's executive order to mandate young girls have an HPV vaccine to prevent cervical cancer that drew the most fire.
At the end of the day, this was about trying to stop a cancer I am always going to err on the side of life.
But his political rivals saw an opening and went on the attack.
Is it about life, or was it about millions of dollars and potentially billions for a drug company?
And if you're saying that I can be bought for $5,000, I'm offended.
I'm offended for all the little girls and the parents that didn't have a choice. That's what I'm offended for.
This is big government run amok. It is bad policy, and it should not have been done.
A no-holds-barred presidential debate with nearly 4 months left before the first primary voters head to the polls. Dan Scheneman, NBC News.
More national news now. Bank of America says it is cutting 30,000 jobs through the year 2014. The company says it's part of a plan to save $5 billion. It's reorganizing and expects a significant portion of the jobs to go away through attrition and eliminating unfilled positions. Bank of America has suffered billions of dollars in mortgage-related losses.
A drug used to treat diabetes could possibly help the fight against Alzheimer's. A study in the journal Archives of Neurology shows insulin could help patients with mild and severe dementia. It may allow them to maintain mental abilities longer, like memory and attention span. They studied a special insulin nasal spray. The group was small, only about 100 people, so a lot more research is needed. Still, the study's author says it suggests insulin plays an important part in brain function. Researchers do say no one knows what the right dose would be, and that's too much insulin may be bad in the long run. Bringing home a newborn baby means big hormonal changes for not only mom, but dad, too. Researchers at Northwestern University followed more than 600 men in their 20s for almost 5 years. They found most had high levels of testosterone before becoming a father, something that happens among other male mammals to help them find a mate. But after men brought home a newborn, their testosterone levels plummeted. Researchers suspect the body does this to help caretaking instincts kick in.
Coming up next on the Night Beat, it's not just deadly fires threatening thousands of Texas homes. We'll explain the new problems sparking wildfire victims.
And Vols QB Tyler Bray got top honors from the SEC after his performance against Cincinnati. Coming up in sports, Coach Dooley, well, he'll take that next role to the test.
Get 10 News weather team updates throughout the day on B97.5, home of Ashley and Brad in the morning.
It's back to school time, and at Rusty Wallace Kia on Callahan Drive, Alcoa Highway in Morristown, we have the perfect vehicles to get your family to school and back. Take, for example, this 5-star crash safety rated Kia Sedona, which has a best in the business 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And with savings of over $6,000, the Kia Sedona is the perfect choice to get your family anywhere they need to go. Stop by Rusty Wallace Kia on Callahan Drive, Alcoa Highway in Morristown to save now. Rusty Wallace Kia, the power to surprise.
Mona and Mary are back from 2 weeks in Haiti. I'm Emily Stroud. I'll show you how they extended the mission of the Helen Ross McNabb Center while they were there.
It was life-changing in that we affected so many people.
Monday on Live at 5 at 4.
It's Designer Week at Ross with a huge selection of designer brands at absolutely unbeatable savings. For the same designer brands as department stores at a fraction of the price. It's Designer Week at Ross. Unbeatable.
Got your grill here. You're gonna take this and scrape up all the drippings. Follow me.
Now get deep flavor without the deep fryer. The new Subway Oven Crisp Chicken. Always baked, never fried. It's a taste breakthrough.
The company that helps develop the products you'll come to rely on in your everyday life will soon come to rely on you. Wacker is now hiring and creating hundreds of future production and professional employment opportunities. If this sounds exciting and you'd like to join our team, visit wacker.com/careers. After all, we don't just help develop great products, we help develop great people too. Wacker, creating tomorrow's solutions.
Land Rover LR4.
Well, as if dealing with raging wildfire was not enough, residents of Bastrop, Texas are now having to deal with looters. This family is standing guard at the entrance to their neighborhood after looters hit their home. Fire did destroy dozens of homes in the neighborhood. Still, neighbors are now banding together to protect what is left of their property. They've even made makeshift blockades.
We do 24 hours a day where there's somebody here and we call each other and make plans and arrange for, you know, we've got it on both sides of the street and all night long.
Now, any cars that come into or out of the neighborhood, they're photographed, the license plate number also written down. Meanwhile, many evacuees did return home today, and students in Bastrop went back to school. Firefighters have made some progress in the wildfire. It's about 50% contained at this point.
Sickening that those folks have to resort to that. Wow. Amazing. Well, Todd joins us now with more on our forecast. And Todd, we've had a little bit of relief. We're going to still heat up a little bit this week, though.
Yeah, some warm temperatures, but you know, 80s, hopefully not 90s.
Relative there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. St. Louis and Memphis both were around 90 degrees today. Good evening to you, folks. Here's a check of Skywatch 10 radar and satellite overlay. We're looking at mostly clear skies, a few isolated spotty showers earlier, but those continue to move on out of the area, so left with the clear sky. Hey, a bright harvest moon, full moon out there tonight. The full moon closest to the autumnal equinox is typically labeled as the harvest moon, whenever that occurs. So this is the full moon closest to the autumnal equinox that comes up next Friday, the 23rd. So a bright harvest moon can be seen. If you thought it looked, well, it looks a little brighter, a little bit more brilliant, it is. Closer to the equinox, fall officially begins again Friday the 23rd. 84 the high in Knoxville today, 83 the average, 59 the low this morning, our average low 62. So pretty much a near average day today. Yes, those temps warmed up. Good to see the sunshine the last few days. The yearly departure for rainfall doing A-OK there, over 3.5 inches, thanks to a week ago, Labor Day's heavy rainfall event. 70 right now, just a pleasant night. Calm wind. Again, we can fill in that moon. It's a bright moon outside. Pressure still rising, 30.05. High pressure in control. Air sinks, and we're seeing those clear skies right on cue as the sun set. See how the clouds just dissipated? Interesting development there. You can really pick out the plateau in the mountains on these type situations where those clouds develop. High pressure from Louisiana ridging northward. Low pressure opposite with a cold front. Showers and storms ahead of that feature. And another Canadian area of high pressure is going to push this front south and eastward. Eventually, some much cooler Canadian air will drop on southward out of Canada later this week. So first half of the week, and pretty much divide it. Warm first half, cooler, turning cooler, and trending that way the second half. And right in between with the front, a better chance for rain showers toward the middle of the week. So pretty straightforward. Let's move ahead. Beautiful night tonight. Sunny, warm, and dry tomorrow. I'm going 85 for our Tuesday. So back in the middle 80s, pretty warm, but you know, look how many days in the 90s we had to deal with. We'll take 85, won't we? Here's a check of our Wednesday. Next frontal system and moisture slowing down a little bit. Wednesday night into Thursday, scattered showers and a few storms. And that front pushes through later Thursday and Thursday night. Noticeably cooler air flows in Thursday night into Friday, with our highs Friday expected to be in the lower 70s. For the rest of tonight, yeah, we got the clearing skies now. 58 for the low. Nice start in the morning. Some patchy fog. Mostly sunny. Another warm day for your Tuesday, 85 tomorrow. We'll go 86 on Wednesday, pretty warm, some thunder showers late. Scattered showers, a few storms Thursday, and maybe a few wraparound showers Friday, but most of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, dry and mild in the 70s.
Very nice. Todd, thank you.
Well, the Vols don't kick off against the Gators until Saturday. We'll talk to Steve about that in just a second. But UT fans already starting to fall behind in another contest against rival Florida.
That's right. The UT versus UF Florida blood drive competition. It kicked off today. And the score heading into tomorrow is UT 147. Oh, no. UF 281. Oh, no.
That's right. Oh, no. You can help the Vols beat the Gators and save lives by donating blood at any Medic Regional Blood Center this week. Everyone who donates will get free Drain the Swamp game day T-shirts.
Include the Florida fans? They get
I think we'll be generous and give the Florida fans.
I'm sure they'll wear that with pride. Yeah.
We're going to talk about a standout on the Vols so far.
He had a terrific day. After 405 yards passing, 4 touchdowns,
and breaking another couple of Peyton's records. It is no wonder Tyler Bray is the SEC's Offensive Player of the Week. Bray completed more than 83% of his passes against Cincinnati. His completion percentage, his total yardage for 2 games, and his streak of games with at least 2 touchdown passes all break UT records formerly set by Peyton Manning. Coach Derek Dooley concedes Bray's had pretty good the games the first 2 of the season, but with the trip to the Swamp, he's taking a wait-and-see attitude.
I don't know. I have no idea. He could go out there and have a spring game, you know, or he could go out there and light it up. I know this, it's not all on Tyler. You know, we got to block those 4 guys up front. We got to handle all the blitzes and junk they're going to bring us. We got to get open. We got to catch the football. But if everybody does those things, then that doesn't guarantee it either. Tyler's got to go. He got to be ready. He got to prepare and be ready.
Well, Bray's offensive output sure to keep Florida head coach Will Muschamp lately all week. The new head coach at Florida respects the rivalry between the 2 schools, knows he's going to have to find a way to slow down Bray.
Excited about the opportunity to play Tennessee and open an SEC play. You look at their team right now offensively. Tyler Bray's played really good football. He's completing close to 80% of his passes. They went to him latter part of last year and really turned around their offense as far as their production was concerned.
Well, after losing in back-to-back league title series, the Tennessee Smokies are hoping the 3rd time is the charm. Smokies will take on the winner of the Birmingham-Mobile series starting either Friday or Saturday, depending on how the series goes. Blake Lally is hoping to bring home his first championship.
You play all year to win, you do. So when you're that close, you want it even more than you did when you talk about it in spring training, even more than you did, you know, we won the first half. It's so much closer. You're just 3 wins away. So that's the biggest thing. But you kind of put, you know, the past ones, I'd say even if we won them both, you kind of put that out of your head except of the feeling of winning it.
Well, polling continues for a highschoolsports.net Players of the Week. On defense, you can choose from David Rucker of Austin East, Grace Christian's Harley Palmer, Matt Lee of Farragut, and Powell's Colby Skeen. On offense, there's Skeen's teammate Dyshawn Mobley, Taylor Mason of South Doyle, Loudon's Trent Elliott, and Micah Hodge from Anderson County. Log on to highschoolsports.net and vote by noon on Wednesday. And the men's final tonight at the U.S. Open in New York. Novak Djokovic is no joke. He gets the drop shot and wins the first set with Rafa Nadal 6-2. Nadal would hold on for a tiebreak win in the 3rd set, but it was Novak who would not be denied. 6-0 against Rafa. Took 3 of the 4 Grand Slam titles this year, including tonight's Open. That's a good season by anybody's standards. That's it for sports, and we will be right back.
With gas prices soaring, it makes sense to fill up less often in a Ford.
Finally, tonight, 2 American soldiers were the center of attention at an airport this weekend.
Returning home after 2 weeks of military training, Kelly Osborne found a crowd of people excited to witness a wedding proposal. Her boyfriend and fellow soldier popped the big question.
Will you marry me?
And after several embraces, guess what she said?
Yes.
The bride-to-be is an Afghanistan war veteran, her fiancé, an Iraq war veteran.
Fun to see that for all those witnesses who didn't expect they'd see it, too.
Surprise. That's our time. Thanks for watching.
Closed captioning of this newscast is brought to you in NewsScribe, closed captioning for the deaf and hearing impaired.
Some journeys